How many people remember this photo when it came out? Anybody? It was in Life magazine, it was in Reader's Digest. These are the Jackson twins, Brielle and Kyrie Jackson. They were born 12 weeks premature, 1995, and Brielle was not doing well. That's the twin on the left. They were in separate little incubators because that was the hospital's policy in Massachusetts at Worcestershire at that time. And so this little girl was about to die. Her temperature was dropping. Her heart rate was rapidly rising. She was gasping for air. And one desperate nurse finally said, well, you know, what if we just put the babies in the incubator together? So she got the parents' permission first to make sure it was okay with them, but she put little Brielle next to Kylie, and they immediately snuggled up together. And within minutes, the blood oxygen levels had returned to normal for Brielle, within minutes. And then Kylie threw a protective arm around her sister. Kind of gets me choked up. See, I have empathy. The point of telling you that story is that our connection to people matters. It matters on a physiological level, it matters on a psychological level, and you need that when you're leading in a crisis. You need that connection. So I told you I was going to tell you the story about the communicating and caring. I want to tell you first about why communicating and caring is important. This is just a snapshot back in World War II, but I will tell you that the U.S. Army did a study going back to World War II, and they found that combat fatigue was 10 times less likely in troops that had a commanding officer that they had high trust or confidence in. And then they're like, well, that's really interesting. I wonder how they got there, and they inquired further, and it turns out that it's because their commanding officer cared for them, or they believed he cared for them. And so there's something about that communicating, caring, that instills trust in people, and when it instills trust in them, it even has long-lasting effects on their mental health, even when they're in things like a battle zone. So this makes a big difference. So when my classmates were telling me I had low empathy, I realized that I wasn't communicating it. And so if I'm not communicating it, it's not felt. And it's not real if people don't see it, believe it. And so one of the things to be thinking about is how are you communicating empathy to people? There's the words. You can do it with words. Words are great. Words are important because if you use the wrong words, you can certainly get the situation worse. But what also makes a big difference and is believed more than the words is tone of voice, the body language, and the actions that you take as a result. You've probably all had the experience of either reading or sending an email that was misinterpreted, and yet the words were right. But what's missing is the tone of voice, the body language. People can't see it. That's why emoticons are so popular. But emoticons can also be passive-aggressive. Well, I think you're, a really snarky person. LOL, smiley face. Those don't count. Emoticons only count if they're real. So that behaviorally specific information is really important in order to be able to reach through to people and have them believe that you really care about them.